Hi everyone, welcome to Last Minute Coders. My name is Vinay. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how we can load 2000 plus SharePoint record in our Canvas app, PowerApp, and we are going to make the whole system dynamic. So reason for this video is this dynamic only. Okay, so I have already covered this video in my previous tutorials. So if you haven't watched that video, the link is in the description and you might be seeing information button on the top right corner. So just click on that and watch that video if you want. Anyways, I'm going to explain everything in this video as well, so there is no need. So basically what happens in Canvas app, like when you try to load data which is more than 2000, okay, so the data which is more than 2000, like here for my example is 3430, and if you are trying to load that data directly from SharePoint into a collection, there is some delegation and what in our Canvas app. Okay, so because of this delegation, we can only load 2000 record at a time. So how we overcome this delegation? So for that, in our SharePoint list, firstly we need to make one index ID column or index column. Okay, so index ID column is just like our index column. It will also have indexing like 1 2 3 4 for our respective items like this. Okay, and then what we do in our Canvas app, we use collection, and for collection we use filters. Okay, filters at a time, we filter 2000 item, then 2000 item, then 2000 item, then 2000 item, and so on. But let's take an example. If I have let's say 1 million record. Okay, now if I do like this, like if I do filter like filter 1 item, filter 2 item, filter 3 item, so I have to do like 500 times. If you divide it by 2000, so see, I have to do 500 times. I have to write this code 500 times. So this is totally, what you say, a very bad approach. Okay, so instead what we will do in this video, what we will learn how we can apply a loop. Okay, so we will just write this filter code once. Okay, and it will work every time for all of our data. Okay, so for this example, if you want to follow along with me, you can. Let me just show you my data source quickly. So I have created one Excel. See this, created one column title, one column index ID. Okay, you can also create these two columns. And see, note that whenever you try to load data from Excel to your SharePoint, then your data need to be around like 20,000. Okay, if you try to load more than 20,000 data, it will just give you an exception or error. So see up here, I have 19. If I just little bit zoom it, so I have 19,209 record with me. Okay, in this Excel. Now simply go to your SharePoint, wherever your SharePoint site is, and go to your site's content, click on new list from Excel, and note like this Excel, right? This is Excel. So you need to make a table, right? How to make table? Control A, Control T. Okay, for me it is already table. Like initially it will be like this. Let me convert this back to range. Okay, so initially it will be like this for you. Then first style like A1, press Control A, then Control T. It will ask you like my table as header, press OK. Okay, see this, now this is a table. Save it. Okay, you can change the name of the table, but I am not changing in this video. So once you save this, just you can close this. Okay, now click on upload file here in SharePoint. Just browse your Excel wherever you save, just click like this. Okay, and just wait for few sec. Once the data is here, just click on next. Okay, and once you click on next, this data will be loaded. It will take some time because it contains a lot of data. So I have already done this, you can see up here. So here, and initially like this will be hidden. Let me show and hide. It will be like this. Okay, let me change back to default setting. So it will be like this: title and index ID. Anyways, you don't need ID, index ID is fine. Okay, larger to smaller. So see, so I have 19,209 items. Okay, so this is a very large data set. Okay, so in this data set, let's see what all delegation we get in our Canvas app. So let's start this video. Firstly, let me create one blank screen. Okay, here we are on our blank screen. Okay, let me add one label. I'll say I'll center align it and make it 24. Okay, and little bit bold. So the text, I'll say dynamically load 2000 plus records in app from SharePoint. Okay, dynamically load 2000 plus record in SharePoint. Anyways, let's give it like dark blue, white color. So this is our heading. Okay, this is fine. Now let's create one gallery. Shall I create this kind of gallery? Alright, fine, let's create a vertical gallery. Now for data set, I'll use my, go to your data, add your data source, right? I have added this book. If you don't know how to add, let me just show you. Click on add, go to connectors, search for SharePoint, just add your connection, search for your site, like my site is this, and I selected this book. Anyways, it is already added, so I don't need to connect, and just click on connect. So I have already connected my data source, my SharePoint data source, so don't need to do it again. Once your data source is connected, see, this is the gallery, right? Firstly, just click on this layout. Okay, property on the right hand side, property, you have layout, right? Just click on titles. I just need titles. And for, see this, I click on this gallery, click on the data source here, data source, just give data sources book, whatever the name of your data source. Okay, so my data source name is book, so I'll just provide the name book. All right, let's wait till the time it load data. What I'll do is I think I have to wait. It just, yeah, it has stopped responding, so let's wait. If it takes too much time, I'll just skip the video. Okay, I didn't. So let me add one label here. Okay, yep, here is our label. Let me center align this. Let me say total number of rows in my gallery. So how to count the rows, okay, in our this gallery. I have used this gallery, right? The name of my gallery is this gallery 3. And first of all, I clicked on this title 5. Instead of title, let me give like index ID. Okay, I created this index ID. Now I'll click up here, how to count the rows. So as the name suggests, count rows. So the formula is like that only, count rows. Count rows of what? Count rows of this gallery. Okay, the name of my gallery is gallery 3 dot. All items means all the items, just count all the items. Okay, but to my wonders, it is just giving 100. Okay, maybe it is way too small. Let me increase its size. Let me say 18. Okay, let me change its color to maybe red. So see up here, this 100 you are seeing, but does my like book 1 list contain 100 items only? No, right? It contains 19,000 something. Okay, if I see, once I like dragged it down, it became 200. Once I again dragged this down, this became 300. But this is really bad, right? If users have to like drag this down. Okay, that is why we use what we use collections. Okay, so see, I clicked on this screen. See, this is the screen 2 where I'm currently on. just go to its visible property of this screen, and here just type one formula like clear collect. Clear collect is a formula to create collection. Collection is a type of variable. Okay, and here I'll just name this collection as cold book, and I'll say book 1. okay, as my data source is book 1. Okay, fine. So how to run this code? Just simply go to or create another screen and then come back to this screen and it will run. See, if I double click on this, just wait for a sec, you will see data up here. See, now this collection contains data. Now instead of like this book 1, now I'll use collection. I'll say cold book. Okay, let's wait. Come on, man, respond. Okay, see, cold book. Okay, come on. Yeah, now see, anyways, that 200 300 is not coming up, but it is just showing me 2000. Why is that? And maybe for you it will show you only 500. Reason, because if you go to settings, I have changed this data row limit to 2000, but for you it might be like this 500. If I do it like 500, if I go back and come back here, see up here, this time it is like 500. Okay, so this is what like delegation is. Okay, so it is limiting my data. Okay, Canvas app is limiting my data, like it is only trying to load 2000 record from SharePoint instead of all the records. Because if we try to, maybe it is because it slows the performance of our Canvas app, so that is why there is like data row limit, so that the performance of the app remain like constant or maybe better. But as the data increases, the performance will automatically goes down. Okay, so I change it back to 2000 and see, it changed back to 2000, right? And let's see, like it contained 2000 record. Yeah, but what about my 2001 till 19,000 plus record? How do I get that? So in last video also, like I told you like how to do that. Firstly, create one index column. In this tutorial I have already created this index column. Okay, then go to your, see the setting up here on the top left corner, then click on this list setting. Once you click on this list setting, scroll a little bit down, and here see this index column, click on index column. I've already created like this index ID. Anyways, it is automatically created for me, and if for you, if it didn't automatically create, just create a new index ID. Simply just select your like this index ID and click on create. That's it. It is that simple. Once you do that, okay, once you do that, you will see that ID up here. So once you see this ID, just then that means that it is okay. Okay, so now come back to your original list. Okay, see the book list. Now this is my index ID column. So why we are using index ID? Why not we are using ID? See what will happen if I will use ID. It will just give me some delegation warning if I use ID instead of this index ID. Even again, if you will ask me like why is it so, I don't know the reason behind it. Okay, so okay, see here is the collection, right? So let me use now the filters. The concept is very simple. Like this is a collection. So basically what we do is we will just filter 2000 item at a time, 2000 item, then 2000 item, then another 2000 item, and so on and so forth, like this. I'll say filter this thing. Let's say if I do with ID first, if I say ID is greater than equal to 1 and then ID is less than equal to 2000. Okay, see this is fine. I'll put comma here. I'll again say filter. I'll say book 1 ID greater than 2001 and then ID less than equal to 4000. See if I do this, see this. Am I seeing a warning? Yep, I am seeing a delegation warning here. See, the filter part of this formula might not work correctly on large data set. So yeah, there is an issue if we are using ID. But what happens if we use index ID? Here the name of this ID is index ID and it is an index column in my backend. See, as soon as I use index ID instead of ID, the issue will get resolved. See this. Now am I seeing any warning? No, right? Let's change from this screen to this and again come back to this screen, and let us see this time. Do we see 4000 record? Yeah, we see 4000 record this time. See, cool, right? Now let me again do one more time so that it will be a lot clearer to you. Let me do like this, 4000. See, if I do like 8000 up here, like these are 4000 item, it will not going to filter 4000 item. Okay, let me just show you again. It will be 6000 only. See the 6000, because at a time it can only load 2000 item. Okay, so even if you write like 10k 20k, it doesn't matter, right? Filtering will work on 2000 record only. At a time, like our canvas app can only filter 2000 record. See this, now we have 66,000 record. Okay, so this is well and good, but see, the problem is here only because in our companies or maybe in our project, this thing is not a static, right? For me, maybe it is a static. I have 20,000 record. Even for me, I have to write like, see, 10 times I have to write this thing, okay, just to get those 20,000 records. So is it possible, like if you have million of data, you have to write 500 times this? So is it a better approach? You tell me. No, right? So for that, what we will use looping. Okay, so how do we use loop? That is what we are going to learn in this video. Okay, so let me first copy this. Again, copy this. There are 2-3 concepts before like jumping to this code. Okay, so just tell me, just comment down the formula, the things I'll write up here. The first index ID of book1 list. Okay, the first thing is this. Let me remove this thing from up here. Let me change its color to maybe this blue. Okay, now here I'll say last index ID. Okay, now you tell me the formula for this. Like, how do we calculate first index ID of book1 list? From this, I have this book1 list with me, right? How do you calculate the first index ID? Okay, just comment down. Don't cheat. Okay, just comment the answer. Okay, so I hope you have commented now. So let's see up here. So we have very simple formula, like first name of the data source book1 dot index ID, right? It is that simple. So I got 1, and you can check up here 1, right? Now if I do larger to smaller up here, so my last is 19209. Now you might say, when I like this is so simple, we can get last also. We will just have to use last function, right? Most of you will say like this, and that's where you guys are wrong. Okay, see, as soon as you use last function up here, again it will give you a delegation, right? Anyways, last function doesn't have delegation, but last function, when connected with a data source directly, okay, or SharePoint data source, it will only load 2000 records. So for him, the last is this 2000. So how do we actually get the correct number? Okay, so how do we get that number? If you know the code, just comment below, and that will be really cool if you know. But if you don't, see up here. So we will use first, and then we will use sort function. Okay, so firstly we will sort our data source in descending order. Okay, based on what? Based on my index ID column. So whenever you write some function, right? See, I have written sort up here. So see up here, I see the parameter source expression. Expression is nothing but my column name. Based on which column do you want to sort this list? Okay, so based on this, and how do you want to sort? Ascending, descending. So I want to sort in descending order. So that's pretty much it. Okay, and dot index ID at last. Okay, see up here. didn't I got the correct number 19209? In my backend also it is 19209. Fine, right? Now I said right, at a time only like 2000 record can be filtered. So how will we calculate, like I told, right, if I have 20,000 item, then I have to do 10 times, because 2000 into 1, see, maybe you are a little bit confused, but see, at a time I can load 2000 item, right? And if I have 20,000 item, so how do we do that in maths? We just divide it by 20,000, right? And it will be 10. So same way we are going to do up here. So this is our last item, right? 209. So what we will do is we will divide it by 2000 and we will just round this thing, okay? Round this division. So if it will be something like 9.8, I'm just giving you an example, so it will round it off to 10, okay? So this is what we are going to do here. See, so I'll say up here total number of, I'll say, iteration, okay? So this many times the loop will run. So total number of iteration is what? So I have this, right? This with me. Let me copy this whole thing, this last wala code. I'll just copy this, I'll paste it up here, and I'll just divide it by 2000, and then I'll use this bracket, I'll say round function, and round function first parameter is this, second parameter is like number of digits, so I don't want any like decimal or something, so it will just round like this, okay? So see this, now I'm seeing up here 10. Let me change the color of this to maybe yellow. See up here, I have 19,209 records, so 10 times the loop should run, okay? That 2000 filter loop should run 10 times, okay? Now I got this number, I have this code, well and good, I have this code, right? Now I don't have to worry, since I have this code with me. I just needed this code, okay? So let me just copy this code. Now on my on screen, this screen 2 on visible property, I have written this thing, right? Let me format this. See, if I have to do by this approach, I have to write the filter 10 times, right? But I don't want to write this 10 times. I only wanted to write this code once, okay? So how am I going to do that? Till here it is fine, okay? Let me remove formatting also. Till here it is fine, okay? But before that we have to write like for all function, for all. Now how to iterate this thing, how to iterate this number 10. So if you haven't watched my for loop video, just watch that. The link is in the description, and you might be seeing information button on the top right corner. So if you want to understand that sequence function, so you can just watch that video. It is really short video and it will really help your understanding about the for loops. So here, see, I'll use that sequence function, okay? So sequence of what? So this 10, how I'm getting that 10? Like this, right? This round thing, this is what, this is giving me that 10, right? Then where to start? I'll say start from 1, number of a step, I'll say 1, okay? So since this is done, right, now inside of it I'll use with function. So why do we use with function? With function is just to like just to give the name of the variables, okay? Just to create variables inside our for all, okay? So I'll say underscore, I'll say my this thing. I just needed two things, right? See up here, these two things I need to make dynamic, right? One is this 1 and other is this 2000. For loop number 1 it should be 1 2000, then this should be 2000, and then this should be 4000, then this should be 4001, this should be 6000, and so on and so forth. So how we are going to do that? So I'll say my first ID, okay? So the first ID is what? I'll say this record dot value. Now what this record dot value will do? The sequence is at first will be 1, then 2. So this record dot value at first will be 1. I'll say this record dot value minus 1, that is 0, right? Okay, that is 0. I'll say multiply it by, see this, multiply it by 2000. Simple. When you multiply 0 from something, it will just return you 0, right? And here instead of equal to sign, we will not use equal to, because if we do something like this, okay, so it is fine, and here we can use equal to, it is fine, right? From if it is greater than 0 and less than equal to 2000, so greater than 0 means starting from 1, right? So this is fine, this is first. And same for last ID. How do we calculate last ID? Again, this record dot value multiply by 2000. This time don't subtract it by 1. Here why we are subtracting it by 1? See up here, because this should be like 1. Let me write up here so that it will be lot more clearer to you. See, the loop will run like this. First time, here see, the first time the sequence, what will contain, sequence will be like this: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, so first loop, okay, see, this is the first loop. What will be here? My filter will be what? Okay, see this first index ID here. What I am doing, this is 1 minus 1 into 2000. So 1 minus 1 is 0. 0 is what? 0. So first ID will contain F. I'll say FID is what? 0. My last ID will be what? Last LID is what? It is 1 into 2000. Here see now, it is 1 into 2000. This record dot value is this, so it will be 2000. So first time this is fine. Second time, when this is 2 now, right, this value dot record will be 2. So 2 minus 1 is what? 1 into 2000. So here it will be like 2000. It is greater than 2000. Greater than 2000 means it will start from 2001. And here it will be 2 into 2000. Last ID will be 2 into 2000. So it will be like 4000, right? Then so on in next time, in next loop, when it is 3, right? When it is like 3, then it will be like 3 into 2, 4000. This will be 6000, then 6, 8, and so on and so forth till 10. It will work, it will just loop, right? I hope I was able to make you understand this code. So it is very simple, but you just have to once like dry run for yourself. Okay, in computer terms, what I did just now, it is called dry run. Okay, so just dry run your code. Okay, once you dry run, most of the things will be clearer. So here see, instead of the 0, I'll use that first ID, right? And in place of this, I'll use that last ID underscore the name of this. See, I use this is fine. Let me see like why. Okay, instead of like, don't use clear collect now, just use this collect, right? Simple collect. Once like this is done, okay, before this you can type like this: clear call book. Okay, so firstly I'm clearing this collection. If you do not have this, right, let me say Control X, it will throw an error, right? So just keep that in mind. Control Z. Okay, so just write this code first and then just copy this code, the simple code. Once like this is done, so now everything should work fine. But let's check, let's change the screen and let's come to this screen and let's see if it contains all the records or not. Okay, so let's wait, and here see, the count is 19209, and let us check that it contains all the record or not. It may be slow, little slow. It is acceptable, right? Anyways, this is Canvas app, guys, whom we are kidding. Like it is a little bit slow, but see, it contains like 19,000 records. Still it is not that slow, right? So yeah, see, whenever you see this, right, there is this spinner. You can change that color of that spinner also if you don't like that dark blue. Anyways, I don't, so you can change the color of that spinner. But yeah, our task is done. Like, we made this dynamic. I don't think there is any video on this, so that is why like I covered this topic. Okay, see this. Anyways, this is amazing, right? Now again and again you don't have to write that filter code tens of thousands of time. Okay, just write this simple code once, understand this code, and once you understand this code, amazing, right? It will save you a lot of time. It will make your app more dynamic, amazing. Okay, so this is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe because this really was amazing, right? And like this video as well. Do give a comment in the comment section. Okay, share your feedback. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care. Goodbye. Bye.